Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with golf coach Pete Gyscek, riding captain Caleigh Wells, and baseball captain Luke Myer. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington Italy athletics. The riding team finished third at the ODAC Championship as Jane Chiavelli and our guest today, Caleigh Wells, both earned all conference honors. Baseball swept a doubleheader at Roanoke, topping the Maroons 10-1 and 10-4. Women's tennis defeated 18th-ranked Mary Washington 5-4 and also scored ODAC wins over Guilford and Roanoke. Men's tennis fell 8-1 to number 7 Carnegie Mellon, but rebounded to beat Guilford at Hampton-Sydney. Kaylee Hinton was named athlete of the meet as women's track and field won the Roanoke College Invitational. The men's team came in third. Both lacrosse teams remain unbeaten in ODAC play as the men held off Guilford 7-5 and the women routed Virginia Wesleyan 22-6. And the golf teams hosted match play events at Wintergreen. The men defeated Easter Mennonite and lost to Christopher Newport, while the women fell to Bridgewater. Joining me now is golf coach Pete Gyscek. Pete, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jeremy. Good to be here.
How have the women been able to build off of last year's ODAC championship and NCAA appearance?
Well, Jeremy, last year was an exciting year, to say the least. Playing in the NCAA championship for a third-year program, receiving one of the coveted at-large bids, only 5 teams get that, was really exciting. To do that, they had to finish no worse than third in any event all year long. They were consistent. They won 3 events. It was a special year, also including winning the ODAC championship for the first time. So with that said, going into this year, we really talked about not setting those expectations out in front of us and just playing golf and playing our own game. And I think we've done pretty well with that. We're still ranked in the top 20, so it's been a good season. We played well in one event in the fall, and then we didn't come out of the spring too well in the first event, but the last round we played in a big event down in Jekyll Island, we shot our second low team score in history, so 305. So I think we're making progress, getting ready to go for the end of the season.
How would you evaluate the season for the men's team so far?
Yeah, the men's team has been solid. They really have been. In the fall part of the season, we played 3 events also. They played the first 2 events, beat some of the best teams in the country. In fact, we came out of that second event ranked number 4 in the country. We slipped a little bit in the last event, so we really had the itch to get back into the spring season, get back on the golf course. We played 7 competitive rounds in the month of March. The first round we didn't play too well, but since then we've played our best golf of the year. It also included 1 round that's the lowest team score in the last 4 years of our program. So that bodes pretty well for them getting ready to finish off the season.
What are the benefits of hosting that match play event at Wintergreen, the ODAC championship course, over the weekend? Yeah,
like I said, that was really exciting. We were the first time we've all played match play. We were able to host that for the men and women. It gave us 3 good extra looks at that golf course and kind of a preview of the ODAC championship. So I think that's going to benefit us and also the other teams that were there too, which included Guilford on the men's side and Bridgewater on the women's side. So that'll be exciting to see how that turns out. Playing match play on a kind of a preview is a really good thing because it tends to be more aggressive style of golf. And I think we learned a lot by playing that course aggressively. I think we'll know where to scale it back when it comes time for the real championship.
What are the general's expectations for the ODAC championship?
Well, that's a great question. So on the women's side, it's exciting to go back and be able to defend your title. So looking at that, Bridgewater College this year is kind of having a year like we had last year. They've played well in almost every event they've set on the course this year. So their competition is going to be tough, and Randolph-Macon has played really well this spring. So it's going to be a solid battle on the women's side. On the men's side, we finished runner-up 2 years in a row to Guilford College. Obviously, our goal is to move to the next level and win the championship. We've played Guilford twice this year. We're 1-1 against them. So I think it's going to be an exciting championship.
Pete, thanks for joining us. Best of luck at the ODAC championship.
Thanks, Jeremy. Enjoyed it.
Here with me in the studio is Caleigh Wells, junior riding captain from Calabasas, California. Caleigh, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. I'm glad to be here.
How did the generals perform at the ODAC championship last Friday?
We were pretty good. We finished 3rd overall, and then we had 2 team members get all ODAC honors, which was pretty exciting. I would say we were pretty consistent. That's usually our goal, is to be consistent. And even though we drop the bottom score of the 4 of us in each round, the score that we always dropped was always fairly high. So that says a lot to say that there was never sort of a weakest link of the 4 of us. So I thought that was pretty exciting that went so well.
You've earned all ODAC honors multiple times during your career, including the Rookie of the Year award back in 2013-14. What factors have contributed to your success within the conference?
The first thing I always have to mention is sort of my main partner. It's a team sport, but the main partnership is between you and your horse. So for ODACs all 3 years, I've been really lucky to have incredible horses with me. My freshman year and this year, I had the same one that we borrowed. And then my sophomore year, I had an incredibly athletic young mare owned by Gordon, my head coach. So that's always been really nice to have sort of a horse that you can trust, because that's really important, is having that sort of relationship with them. In addition to that, I've the sort of build up to ODACs. We start in September and we go all the way through April. So having that consistent practice schedule, having a really great dialogue with my coaches, and sort of working on building strength, working on, again, consistency, like I said, that's always been really important, and they really do a great job of preparing us for ODACs in April.
3 generals will compete at the zone finals at Mary Washington on Saturday. What are the team's expectations for this weekend?
It's pretty exciting. In my time here, we have never had 3 people go to zones. My freshman year, we had 2, and we didn't have any last year. So 3 is very exciting. The other interesting thing is our region, because it's the most competitive, we also have a lot of really well-developed teams, so they have some pretty great horses. So moving out of our region and having to compete on horses that we've never been with before, there's a really big variable there that we're not, so we haven't had a lot of experience handling. So it'll be interesting getting on horses that aren't like the ones that we've been working with for these past couple years. But I have a lot of confidence. We have Laurel, Jane, and Laura competing in novice, intermediate, and open on the flat, respectively. And they both were incredible at regionals, so I have a lot of hope for them at zones.
Overall, how pleased have you been with the 2015-16 season?
It's been, I think I'm most proud of this season so far, of my 3 years on the team. So my freshman year we finished 4th overall, and this year we finished 5th. So that is sort of deceiving because we've actually been the closest to the lead that we've ever been. We finished 35 points behind the lead this year, which is the closest I think we've been since the team started, certainly since I've been on the team. And then individually, I've had my best season. I have now qualified for open, intermediate, or open over fences and on the flat. So that's really exciting for my senior year to be able to go into that. So individually, but also as a team, it's been really exciting, and our coaches have been really proud of us, just very consistent among all the levels all year.
Caleigh, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a great season.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
I'm joined now by Luke Myer, senior baseball captain from Durham, North Carolina. Luke, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Generals struggled through a weather-shortened 2015 season. You were picked 9th in the preseason coaches poll this year, and yet you're 22-10 overall, 10-5, tied for first in the conference at the moment. Did you and your teammates expect to have this much success this spring?
Well, I don't say we were surprised by being picked 9th in the conference given our finish last year, but we knew what kind of talent we had coming back, and well, I wouldn't say we were necessarily expecting to be at the top. We knew that we had the talent to compete, and we were always aiming to be one of the top 4 seeds in the conference tournament. So being in a position to be in that conversation and at the top is definitely where we want to be.
The Generals haven't necessarily had a great statistical season on offense, and yet the team scored 29 runs in 3 ODAC games last week. How has W&L been able to produce at the plate?
Well, we're definitely built around pitching and defense. Those are our primary strengths, but especially recently, the offense has been able to get going. In certain games, we need to be a little bit more consistent, but we have delivered big situational hitting, which has really helped us, and we've been able to answer whenever other teams have scored. For instance, at Roanoke, we were down 4-2, and we're able to come up with a 7-run inning. So instances like that have really helped us on offense.
The first game of your doubleheader sweep at Roanoke was the program's 1,000th win. What does it mean to you to be a part of that milestone for W&L baseball?
Well, it's a really good milestone to hit, but honestly, I'd say the 22 win mark this past weekend, it was probably more fulfilling just immediately because it is the most wins we've had since 2009. So we're really honored to have both of those going right now.
Once you return to the field on April 16th, you'll have 5 key ODAC games remaining in the regular season. How important is it to come out sharp after the exam break?
That'll be crucial. We've put ourselves in a position to contend for the league championship, and coming out of finals have always been an instance where we've struggled. So coming out sharp and really dominating the next 5 games will be key for us.
Luke, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you for having me.
For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.